welcome again to the PAX Podcast, where we talk about people, partnerships, and professionalism. Today, I am excited to introduce you to Jamil Kareem. If you don't know him, he is one of our PAX originals from the very beginning. You're going to get his origin story. He's extremely hard worker and making sure that we have all of our ducks in a row and that our onboarding is good. And we'll get into all of that. But uh, um, before we jump this, I say this just about every single podcast is that whether we're talking about partnerships or professionalism and specifically with people, but all of the power behind all of this is that it's real people. Like the idea and the brand of PAX is really to tell you about PAX, to tell you about the people, and we have the best in the business because the people that are huddled around PAX or dedicated to PAX are people who want to help other people, and they have eyes to see other people. They want to help them level up, or they want to surround themselves with people who want to be impacting the community and just being a force for good. That's why our slogan at PAX is to we are changing the ride service industry for good. We want to make a positive impact here in Phoenix, and we want to conquer all the cities on the globe, but we're starting here in Phoenix, and we want to do that uh, not only responsibly but effectively. So as we do that, Jamil's been a big part of organizing all of our curbside events and the fleet that's out there with our driver packets and communication and so just as one of our community leaders, excited to introduce you to him. Jamil, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming and being here today.
Well, thank you for having me here, Daniel. I appreciate you.
Yeah, well, I want the show to be all the Jamil show today. I want to talk about you. What's your origin story? How did you tell us? You've got a fantastic story, as all of our people do, but you have a fantastic origin story. You bring us. How did you end up driving? Before we tell the pack story, how did you end up driving in general? Tell us that story. Where'd you come from, and a little bit about your history.
Well, the little story that it comes down to is that I own my own business, been successful in the Valley, selling mattresses. That was one of my fortes, selling mattresses and furniture for over 25 years. But in 2020,
Well, first,
something called,
how many stores did you own? Because there's more than one. How many mattress stores did you own?
they were total. At one time, I had 16 stores, and I downsized it to 8, and then down to 6.
So
But yes.
you're familiar with process.
Oh, processes are very much in my inline. And
Yeah.
prior to that, even doing that, I was in the corporate world. That, as you can know, that things always have to change in many ways, and you have to be flexible.
That's what. No, I appreciate your candor and your offer. Like just the mindset. Even when we're testing the app, every time we do a new feature, we test it in a test flight version before it goes public. And most of the time, sometimes we're moving so fast we don't have a chance of that. But most of the time, I'm shooting it over to Jamil like, hey, well, let's go break this thing, and then we break it, and you're always like, it's okay, don't worry, it's just the nature of technology. And I'm like pulling my hair out, like, so no, that's great. That's great. Manny, Cowboy Manny has already dropped in the chat. He says D&J. He's saying hi. So
Well,
thanks.
say hello to Cowboy Manny. I
Yeah.
appreciate him a lot too. He's a great partner.
Yeah, we gotta get him on a collab here eventually
Oh,
too.
most
So
definitely. He would
yeah,
be someone you need to have on
I know.
board.
He's got to wear his cowboy hat though. That's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
he will too. I have my driver's cap. He has his cowboy hat.
right. So you heard it here, Manny. We got to get you on the show, dude. Let's set that up. So tell us
So,
back to your origin story. 2020. I cut you off.
so
So you
2020, I got sick with COVID. As you know, COVID is a real thing. I was one of the non-believers that didn't believe in COVID.
and then you
Um,
got it.
and I got it, believe me. December 31st, 2020, I was hospitalized and put in a ventilator that same night, which
Oh
was
man.
January 1st, 2021.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
put in a ventilator for 7 days and 28 days in ICU.
Mm.
So during that period of time, there was it was a touch and go situation for me. I saw my life flash before my eyes, and it
Mm.
did happen.
Oh.
And
Well, I'm glad you're still with us, man.
oh, I am
Jamil, I'm
so
glad you're.
glad too. And I asked during that period of time, I asked God. I said, God, please let me come through this, and I will tell you that I will help you and lead people in many ways.
Mm.
And it's amazing because PAX came into my life as a guidance and as a light to bring people in and teach them the right way.
Mm.
But at any point, I actually came to and started to feel like I had the long term COVID, so I wasn't really focusing, and I was able to sell my places and move on into retirement, if you will. Well, I'm a type A personality, as you can tell.
Retirement's boring.
It's boring. Judge Judy, I'm sorry. You might have a great show, but enough of Judge Judy at 3 o'clock every day.
I gotta
So,
do something. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
that
had to do something. So I started to drive for Uber. And Uber taught me the basic concept of what ride services would be services or ride share. At
the
that point,
difference,
it was
the
all ride
very
share
yeah, the distinct difference between ride share and ride
and ride
service. Yeah,
service.
yeah, yeah.
So at a given point, I was doing a lot of work and making good money. By all means, I made good money, but I noticed that being a good driver has a lot of things involved. One is being clean. One is to maintain your car clean, uh, give service, open the door for a customer, take the luggage in, take the luggage out. And when we actually started to put these things into play, I started to notice that people were asking me, can I get your service again? I like you as a person. You're very respectful. And I had no clue if I should do it or not. Is it ethical or not ethical? Well, guess what? I'm an independent contractor, which makes me my own company. So if I can get a customer, and in different ways, I started to bring in my customers. I
Well,
created a
yeah,
book
not
of
to cut.
business.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but that was my. I mean, before PAX and just my life of traveling and landing in other cities, and needing a ride, you get in a you get in an Uber. We live in an Uber society where it's just like that's kind of what you do now to get a ride from A to B. And I remember before being educated about the ride share industry, I would get in and just being a people person and and getting to know people. I'm an extrovert. Every time I get in a ride, I would know pretty much immediately, like, I don't want to drive this guy's car ever again. Or it was a guy that I was like, this dude's really cool. He's working really hard, and like his service is impeccable. I want this guy again. What I didn't know is that, and I would ask him just about every time. I would say, yeah, is that your cat?
That's a cat. Sorry.
No, no, you're fine. That's you're gonna hear my dog bark probably in a couple of minutes here, or like my kid's gonna come in and ask for something, but it's working from home. But uh, I would ask him. I'd say, hey, how can I use the app to make sure that you're the one that's picking me up? Because you're really cool. You talked to me, you told me about your city. You're like you are a people person. And they'd be like, well, you can't. The only thing you can do is I can give you my number, or I can give you my card, or and you can call me. But I didn't know that was I was putting that driver in liability, because if he didn't have his own insurance, like a livery license, I didn't know that doing a cash deal on the side was putting him at risk. I didn't know that. So I'm trying to do something cool by just being like, hey, let me just give you you tell me how much I got to pay and I'll pay in cash. I didn't know that was putting him at risk and myself at risk. I didn't know that because I just didn't know anything about the industry. But the difference between ride share and ride service is very apparent to me, because I wanted the people who were delivering me a ride service. And so when I did learn about PAX, and did learn, I was very excited to partner with the drivers, going, hey, you guys have that professional mentality. You want to build your own business, and you don't have that ability to partner or to build your own business playbook. Yeah, there should definitely be an app that helps you do that. So yeah, that was really a lot where you and I, when we first connected. Well, and I'm kind of telling your PAX origin story, so I shouldn't do
Yeah,
that for
that's
you,
okay. That's
but
fine.
I was very excited to get involved in that level of going, oh my gosh, there's a huge need here with these drivers who are like Jamil and Ian Donnell and Jamie and Siobhan and these and Marius and Manny, all these
Danny
guys,
Bunn and Luke
Luke and
and
all these,
Manning.
yeah, all these drivers that are working really hard, and they're building their own business because they know how much better it is for them. They just are being so taken advantage of by these apps in the industry. So that's where we were like, hey, let's build something that they can really use, and really allow them to understand, like, hey, whatever you need, our commitment is to build it. Just help us build it for you, and let's get going. So anyway, that's where we're at. But go ahead. I cut you off. Go ahead. Continue there.
No. That's perfect, because that's the segue that I go right into meeting Danny Bunn
Yeah.
at the airport, and he sits one day and says, Jamil, he calls me Jim. By the way, everybody calls me Jim, but my name is Jamil. So just in case people needed to understand that, so um, he comes up and he tells me, I'm thinking about this app, and we used to call him Uber Killer. So if the word comes out, we were calling him Uber Killer, because Luke actually is the one that came up with that name for him, because he was always with the concept of how can we change right share, because back then they were calling it all right share. And I said, no, first of all, one thing we have to differentiate ourselves from is right share. We are
Mhm.
right service.
That's right. That's right. It's super important.
And, during that period of time, like you said, I had already done my got my livery license. I had my own personal insurance. So I was building my own book of business. But I said, what if um, the app builds your own book of business? And he goes, yeah, that's what we're thinking of. And, we didn't think about pins or anything like that. But when I met with you and the investors, you guys all brought up certain factors that made sense. It opened my eyes of what the opportunities would be out there for every single driver. Every
Well,
single driver.
what we also realized, like, just it was almost like we opened this door and got exposed to this entire world that we're like, oh my gosh, like I did not know, I didn't know this was going on. Like, you talk to anybody and they hate the ride share apps. Not only they just they don't like what they stand for, and they're constantly getting sued. It seems like shady business. They're always trying to take advantage of people, and most of all the driver. And so we were like, the more we found out about this, their business model is built to pit drivers against one another, and we're like, oh my gosh, in an
Completely.
in a profession that's already fairly isolating. We're like, dude, we could bring a community, specifically investing in our community. Like, we could bring a family of drivers together that really understand the benefits of working as a team. And so how you could, and here's what was neat is, these aren't all brand new inventions. This is what we found out, that drivers just out of necessity were passing rides from one professional to another professional, because, like, I don't want some crazy idiot picking up my regular customer, and I can't get over to there to pick them up. So I'll pass that to another friend of mine that I know will deliver a professional service experience. And so we were like, oh my gosh, if we could organize the team, we could get everybody fighting together. Now you would never have to turn down a ride. You could always get them. And we're as we continue to build PAX, it's just we're eating this elephant one bite at a time. Passing rides to teammates and getting 5% referrals for that, and doing hourly rates, like all these good ideas as we punch them out. it takes time, but it also takes time to test it and make sure we iron out all the kinks. And so now we've got these private rides that you can schedule with QR codes. And speaking of, I'm gonna drop your brand in here. Let me put in, if you want to schedule with Jamil, give us your spiel as I go look for this. You tell us, why would somebody want to hire you to be their driver? Give it to us in
Well, the
60
main
seconds.
reason is because I'm a good guy and I'm a God loving person. That's one thing you can always know about me. I tell you the truth and I don't lie. And more specific, I give you great service.
I can testify that. And you got a great, what do you drive? You drive a Lincoln?
We
Yo,
have two
you got two
cars.
rides. Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually three rides if we still want to utilize the pro level as the Cherokee Grand Cherokee.
Oh
That's a
yeah, that's right.
pro, and
Yep.
then I have the Expedition 2022 and the Lincoln
Yep. And
ABA.
so if you are an executive and you want a premium ride,
Wh-
Jamil can pick you up. And if you got seven, your Navigator holds your, not your Lincoln, your Ford holds what, seven? Does it hold
Expedition
Expedition?
holds seven.
It holds seven.
Yes,
So
it holds seven.
if you got a party you want to go out, Jamil can pick you up for that as well. You can book him for that. And
More or
he's
less, you know what? We started with PAX and the concept of PAX of having a presidential, and the presidential has been so successful for us. We've
yeah.
had, I believe, about five of them,
So what
including
when
from
he says
last year.
So when he says presidential, what he means, so we're always talking. Every person, every driver has their own flavor, their own. This is their business. This is what they want to promote.
That's right.
And one of the things that Jamil's always been very passionate about is his ability to organize, and so one of the things that he likes to organize is 2 or 3 cars. So if you got a big party that you all want to go to the same location, or you got a bunch of executives in town that you want to take them to dinner, or you want to anything that you would, or bridal party, or a dinner party, or something that you want, you have maybe 20, 30
Weddings.
weddings, you all want to go to the same place, but you want to do it in style. You can order Jamil. He'll organize 2 or 3 drivers, and then you drive like a presidential motorcade. And so they drive together, they stay
That's
together,
true.
and as you pull up, it's impressive. Like even when it pulls up, like we got videos of it, when you pull up to the curbside, everybody, it's impressive to watch these cars all drive up and they all get in, and just experiencing the vehicle is part of the experience. And we saw that at some of our events, that when we were on curbside, it was when we have all of our PAX vehicles, our elite vehicles all parked together, it's an impressive show. People will walk by and go, what is happening over here? And we're like, because the cars are all clean and they all look really nice, and all the drivers are dressed really sharply, and not that that's always our brand, but when we're doing something on the curbside, that is one of the things that we want to level up that professionalism, to let people know that we're there in force. Like it's an impressive example of our brand and who we are. And so everybody's wearing a tie, all the cars are dressed the same, they're all clean, they're all parked the same way, and it's just an impressive show. And so one of his things that's near and dear to Jamil's heart, and one of the things that he really wants to promote, is the presidential. So if you've got a larger number of folks and they all need to get to the same place at the same time, he can coordinate that for you. You can schedule them in the PAX app to do that, and he can coordinate with some of our other drivers to make sure that happens.
And it all
So
gets done.
yeah,
You just tell me how many people, when you're coming in, and it's all taken care of. You don't have to think twice.
yep. And so also, if you just want to, if maybe you don't got 20 people, Jamil's a fantastic private driver for any event, for anything that you need. If you're just going to the office, or if you're going to the Phoenix Suns game, he's a fantastic private service driver. So we have a coupon code, or a promo code, not a coupon code, a promo code.
Which is PAX 20.
So that'll be 20% off your next ride with Jamil. And now this is not a forever code. This is a for now code. So schedule them this weekend. Experience the PAX experience. Schedule your next ride with Jamil. You can do that in the app. When you're looking for him in the driver, you'll look for Jamil. And his username is
It's
Jamil
Jim
Kareem,
K.
Jim K in the app.
No, Jim
So
K.
in the app,
Yep.
right? Yeah, Jim K. So
Hmm.
when you're looking down, you'll see Jim K. You can browse all of our driver profiles inside the app. That's PAX Rider is the name of the app. You can get it in both Android and iOS. You can download that today. Use that PAX 20 code as you're checking out. It will ask you have a discount code as you're right after you entering your location, and then it'll ask you your driver. Pick Jim, and then he'll get it. And he can respond to you in a couple of minutes and let you know that he's ready to pick you up and take you where you need to go. So one of the things I did want to highlight about you, Jim, is if you look at and I keep saying it in all the podcasts, I'll say it again, to tell you about PAX, to tell you about the people that are really gravitating towards PAX are the people who have hearts to help other people. And so what you'll see here is I mean, any one of our PAX drivers are all vetted, and that goes through. Jamil's one of the guys they sit with. He does all of their onboarding to make sure that he explains to them, hey, we're trying to set the bar very high. So as you step into the PAX role, whether you're a PAX Pro or PAX Elite, you have to have the mentality that one, we're trying to deliver a service to people, but two, we want to help you in any way that we can. Okay, so if you have good idea, you can tell Jim, you can tell him, hey, I have an idea. And I'll tell you, hey, that's a fantastic idea. You can drop that in the app too. We've designed our app specifically to give you a lifeline so that no matter, you can be driving down the road and have one of your passengers go, you know what I really like? And you go, I'm gonna have the app develop that because that's a really good idea. So we have things that all of our drivers are building their own business. Okay. So as they build their own business, any good idea that they have, no idea is too crazy, they will pass that on. So if you put that in the app, you can tell Jim, but you can also put it in the app, and it will get to our leadership meetings where we go, hey, that's a great idea, but that's a someday idea. Otherwise, other ideas, we're like, hey, we have to get that idea out now. We need to stop production on some of these other pieces and develop that. One of those things was promo codes, because we realized how important it was to incentivize our riders by going, hey, we value you too. And so we had to we pushed back some of the other team development stuff that's still in production. It's still coming. We're still on the way, but we also wanted to make sure that you drivers, as you build businesses, you have promotions that will help you do that. So it's very important also to note about the promo codes is that doesn't come out of your cut as a driver. That comes out of the PAX cut first. The driver will always get paid that 65% flat rate of that ride. That will always get there. Another thing we have coming though is that we're gonna, and this is a little bit further down the road, so I probably shouldn't be letting the cat out of the bag, but you drivers have regular riders, and so a lot of times we're finding some of these you drivers have asked us like, hey, I have one client that books me so faithfully. I would love to give that person a break, not because I understand that PAX doesn't give everybody a break just to give that person a break. How can I give out of my cut to tell that person thank you? And we're like, that's a great idea. We should make that available for drivers to offer their own discounts. Now, it gets a little, when you start talking about, well, if this happens, then what happens in the app? Designing that, it gets a little crazy, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. So we've already put that on the development side going, look, these business owners, they like when we give them promotion codes, but there's sometimes they want to go, hey, you know what? You've ridden with me 6 times. I'm going to give you your 7th ride for free. And that one's on me.
Hmm.
I'm going to do that. That's what successful business owners do. They come up with ideas like that. So as you come up with good ideas like that, let us know, and we will implement those things into the app. Here, let me read some comments here because we got. I think we woke people up with Danny's podcast earlier. We got some people on here. Uh, I don't know who the tumbleweed is, just as but you were talking about your name. He goes, "You're Jim. That's who you are. You're not Jamil. You're Jim." And then Cowboy Manny said, "Team building, forming the community." Yeah, like Jim helping me with my clients in his area when I'm booked already. They love his crazy way. Laugh out loud. He's crazy and funny and honest. And then if you, hey, the tumbleweed, I don't know who you are. Drop your name in here so I can learn who you are. But just says I don't know who that is, but it says, wow, I thought you sold the Jeep. 27 people, airport pickups to the Royal Palms, dinner for all to downtown Phoenix. and a few other events from Jim, 2-day events. Yeah. So if you're working with Jim, he definitely is very good at organizing, making sure that everybody's got all the tools and pieces they need, which is what makes him a fantastic interface for each one of our fleet to, especially in here in Phoenix, to know the level of professionalism that we're trying to attain, and we're constantly raising that bar. We're constantly trying to get better at what it is that we're doing, whether it's from the website to the way that we present ourselves or communicate ourselves or build our teams. Go ahead, Jamil.
Well, can you also make sure you let everybody know the 10% charitable contributions that we are now trying to interface with every booking of every ride that we have here,
Yep.
which is really, really helpful.
Powerful.
There's not only powerful, but there's a big piece of my heart for the leukemia associations, for cancer research, cancer support. You know, I lost my mom, my dad to cancer. My ex-wife is going through cancer. You know, there are things that I can tell you right now that these are things that touch me personally. That when I want to try to have people book, have them download the actual charitable contributions that'll help everybody out. Not only does it help me out, it helps PAX out, but it helps the charitable contributions that we're doing, the
Yep.
companies and things like that.
Yeah.
We're part of the community.
Yep.
That's the other big selling portion of PAX.
Yeah, and I mean, PAX is such an easy. It's such an easy thing to understand when we start talking about like, hey, we're keeping all the money local, like that, and people that's like a light bulb goes on. They're like, oh, that's brilliant to keep. We're investing in each of these drivers, which is they're a small business. Yeah, no duh. I would love to support that rather than support this Silicon Valley behemoth that's just taking advantage of everybody. Oh, looks like we Jamal might have bounced out on us. Uh, uh, but the other part of that is our community contributions. Is if you are a charity or a nonprofit and you're working really hard in the community, we want to help support you. We want to come alongside you. And each one of our drivers, when you're building your business, that's an easy thing to tell your passengers, like, hey, book me next time on PAX because a portion of a ride can go to help a local community or charity. That's an easy selling point to help people book you on a platform where you're going to make a lot more of the share of the pie. We give you 65% of every single ride and 100% of your tip, and we're 100% transparent. So when your ride is done, your receipt comes through and tells you the fare of the price of the fare from A to B, and how that's a flat rate. There's no price hike. There's no playing games between one driver and another driver. The distance is what sets that apart. Where that's going to differ a little bit is when we implement the hourly rates, and then you get to set your own rate. We don't set that. If you want to charge $1,000 an hour and you got a client that'll pay it, man, good on you. We want to help you do that. If you want to set your hourly rate per mile, and you do the math with your it's your business, set that price, and then we can help you do that by covering you in insurance for that. But a portion, what the sales pitch is telling your passengers, like, hey, you can ride on one of those other apps pretty easily. But if you choose PAX when you're here in Phoenix, man, you're helping small business grow. You're giving a fair shake to the driver. You're investing in a community driven nonprofit that's working really hard to do great things to help people. So next time, book me on PAX and help the community in multiple ways. So now I know that if you're a nonprofit or charity, you're probably thinking like, how would I ever get involved with that? Well, PAX when you think about it as a brand, it seems like it's hard to approach. But when you think about the idea that even every brand, it's really people behind the curtain that are putting in the work. So what we really try to leverage and invest in is the relationships here in Phoenix. So if you send an email to contact@paxapp.io, let me put that up here for you. Oh, I don't, let me see if I have that. contact at paxapp.io. Let me save that, show that. You send an email to contact at paxapp.io. We will be in contact with you and we will connect with you, but you don't have to wait. You can also, I think Jamil's joining back in. That's good. He's jumping back in. But you can also, you don't have to wait to connect with us through email. You can go straight on our website. You can look at all of our community partners, which we have things like Phoenix Children's Hospital, we have the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, we have the Mavericks, the West Valley Mavericks, we have the Executive Council 70, we also have, I told you the dog is gonna bark, Jamil, and then we also have the
Grass
fighter.
clipping.
Yeah, Grass Clippings is one of the local community people that they do a lot of events. But this weekend we're going to be out at the Wigwam. Last weekend we were out at the Wigwam. This weekend we're going to be out there again. So with the tent and all of our stuff. So come out and see us. Take that 20% ride. I got kicked again. That's funny. To take that 20% off your ride to the Fighter Country Foundation. They've got an event that's happening this Thursday and Friday. So if you're headed to that, book a PAX and you can choose the Fighter Country Foundation to benefit from that ride, and you can get 20% off any one of your rides. PAX 20, use that code. I'll put that one up for you one last time. PAX 20, you can use that next time you book a ride with PAX to take 20% off your ride. Experience the difference and book Jamil. He's a fantastic dude. I wish he was here to be able to say goodbye to you. Sounds like he already jumped off the line, so that's okay. I'll say goodbye for him. He's a great dude. I hope you get to meet him. Book him today. Thank you for joining me. And if you're in the chat, let me see if there's anybody else signing off. We got. I still don't know who the tumbleweed is. I wish I knew who that was. But and then I'll close with this: like and subscribe our YouTube channel, our Instagram channel. And we're starting a TikTok because I'm an idiot, and we got some crazy ideas coming up.
We gotta have fun with TikTok,
Yeah.
guys.
No, yeah, we do have a pretty fun. So stay follow our stuff because there's some pretty cool stuff coming through the pipeline. I don't want to spoil it just yet.
No,
but I'm glad you hopped back on, Jamil. I wanted you to say goodbye to the
I was
folks,
on. I was buffering. I'm sorry, but I can
Oh.
see you talking, but I couldn't say anything.
Okay. Well,
and that's
before
the way you wanted it, anyways.
Yeah, I'm cutting you out. That's what you don't know. Yeah. No,
Make
so
sure
go ahead.
you say hi to Manny, Luke, all the guys at the airport. Ken, if you're out there, say hello.
Yeah, Ken, we got to get you on the podcast too, my man. We got to tell your story. So anyway, we'll be hitting you in the next couple of weeks. We're telling a lot of the people stories because as we start to grow our brand and start getting out there in awareness, we want people to know. I keep saying it, but to tell about PAX, to tell about the people. And we have the best in the business, and it's time that people they start seeing that. They get an introduction to who you are and what you can provide and how they can schedule with you. So
well, if you remember, we started February the 2nd. That
February
month,
1st.
the first. Okay, that first. But that whole month was all trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get things done. April 1st, I should say April about 15th, we really started to get the ball rolling. And from that day to this day, PAX is a whole different company. It is one of the most amazing things, and I thank God every single day that it's getting better and better.
Yep. No, and I am excited. The future is bright. I can't wait to see as our team really comes together and we really start doing the team development and passing rides and being able to do those presidentials. And there's a lot of really great things coming. So follow us on all those things and not just like and subscribe, but share Jamil's story because that's going to help him grow his business. And when it's your turn, we want that whole driving force to share your
I will
story.
share it. We will
Tell
all
people
share
about
it to each other. We're a team.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for Jamil, all the hard work that you put in to help PAX be a reality. Thanks for joining me on the show today. And that's all we got, dude. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great night.